name is Jerry. I live in Oklahoma City. It's March 16th, 2025. Um, so you ain't looking at all that stuff over there. Okay. Last week, or last Saturday, I was talking about undocumented illegal immigrants from the point of view of them being exploited. Now, I would discuss, I'm going to touch base on that a little bit. Okay. There are several reasons why undocumented illegal immigrants needs to be deported for your safety, for mine, and um, economic reasons. Okay, like I said, you're working, you're making 20 bucks an hour. Your employer says to you, I'm letting you go. This guy is going to be replacing you. But your employer doesn't tell you why you're being replaced. This guy can't speak any English, or if he does, it's very little. Remember, you're getting paid 20 bucks an hour, and your boss just let you go. Your boss don't have to pay taxes on you. Your boss don't have to pay you 20 bucks an hour. You kick bricks. Now, are you going to get approved for unemployment? Maybe, maybe not. This guy takes your place. He makes probably $10 an hour to your 20. He gets your job, or she gets your job. And you're stuck trying to figure out how to feed your family. Because let's face it, unemployment don't pay all that much. I've been unemployed before, and I've been on unemployment. It don't pay all that much. It only pays half of what you make in a month's time. So this illegal, undocumented immigrant just took your job. Are you honestly okay with that? And your employer just fired you, saving money because they don't have to pay taxes on you, and they don't have to pay you for your services. And they're exploiting and taking advantage of that illegal immigrant at the same time. That illegal immigrant doesn't have to pay taxes. Um, the employer doesn't have to pay taxes on that illegal immigrant. Thank you for joining me. And that illegal immigrant just took your job. Okay. And if that illegal immigrant, undocumented illegal immigrant, gets out of line, oh, thank you. It shows 4, so I'm just wondering. If that illegal immigrant gets out of line with that employer, like, I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that, well, I'll just deport you because you're not even supposed to be here to begin with. You're here illegally. Hi, how are you doing? Amanda Foster. And I'm not really good at preppy girl. And 5 of them now. So cool. Thank you. And thank you for all the smiley faces there. That's kind of neat. I was actually surprised I'm able to go live. I've used when I get angry on YouTube, I use an array of language that I've been silenced, so to speak, from YouTube. Hello, how are you? Kendrick, how are you? Thank you for joining me. All right, I'll get back to what I'm talking about. Sometimes because I'm still new to doing live broadcasts on YouTube. I used to do live broadcasts on Facebook, but I got restricted constantly. So I just gave that one up. And I'm not doing this to make any money. I'm just trying to educate folks. And I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about undocumented illegal immigrants. I'm not talking about legal immigrants. I'm talking about undocumented. So an employer, let's say your employer, for example, for those of you that are coming in on this, your employer, for example, you're getting paid $20 an hour. Let's say your employer comes up to you and says, um, Kendrick, we're letting you go. And you find out the person that they hired is an undocumented little illegal immigrant making $10 an hour. Your employer is paying them $10 an hour. You just got fired. Now, will you get approved for unemployment? Maybe, maybe not. But that's not the point. Unemployment's only going to pay you half of what you make. Maybe not even that. I've been on unemployment before, and $600 a month don't take care of your bills. That barely takes care of your mortgage. So you're out of a job. Why did your employer do that? Well, your employer don't have to pay taxes on you. Your employer don't have to pay you that additional $10 an hour. So you're SOL. That illegal immigrant doesn't have to pay taxes. That illegal immigrant took your job. That illegal immigrant usually, most of the time, gets free health care. They get everything free while you have to pay. They don't have to pay taxes. You have to pay taxes. And that employer just exploited them and took advantage of them, because if they get out of line, what did you say? Okay, I'm going to get a hold of immigration, and your sorry SOB is going to be deported. And if it's a woman, if it's an undocumented illegal child, teenage girl or woman, oh, they're going to get exploited, all right. They're going to get raped multiple times, and if they have an issue with it, they're going to get deported. So I explained that one last week on why it's important to make sure you're not protecting undocumented illegal immigrants, because you're not helping them at all. You might think you are, but you're not. And then if you get caught doing it, it's a minimum of 10 years in federal prison to a maximum of 20 years in federal prison. Now let's get to the aspect of legal immigrants, like my wife. She's from the Philippines. She came up here to the United States in 1997 with her first husband. She filled out at least 6 applications that I'm aware of, had several green cards, legally to be up here to work. And I don't have anybody watching me. That's a shame you're not sticking around to hear this. I guess the truth hurts. And I knew I was going to probably upset a few people. Oh, I don't want to hear this, so I'm going to get off here. Well, maybe you need to get back on here and learn. I'm trying to teach you people something, because for the most part, I can almost guarantee I'm older than most of you. I'm 53 years old. How old are you? And my wife is 55. She's from the Philippines. She came up here legally in 1997, submitted application after application after application, went through the entire legal process with the green cards, the work permits, the applications, and $20,000. Do you people that want to protect undocumented illegal immigrants, along with the Democratic leaders in the Congress that want to protect undocumented illegal immigrants, want to write my fiance a $25,000 check? Because it's not fair to folks like her, like my wife, that came over here through legal channels, went through. It took my wife almost 6 years to get over here legally. So does the Democrats and the Congress want to write her a $25,000 check? Do you people that agree with illegal immigration want to write her a $25,000 check? I don't think you do. And I personally don't care if you get offended with what I'm saying or not. I'm sick of all this illegal immigration garbage. Okay? And here's something you need to know. Make America Great Again is mega is not MAGA is not a cult, okay? For all you ignorant Gen Zs out there and all you ignorant millennials and all you ignorant uh, people that are my age, people that are my age ought to know what make America great means. It means we want products to be made in America. We want more American jobs here in America and not overseas. We want the justice system to be fair. We want the illegal immigrants coming over here legally so they're not taking your job nor my job. I've lost 4 good paying jobs because of undocumented illegal immigrants, okay? I don't have the luxury of living in my mom and dad's basement. Now, I'm going to educate you people on something. Donald Trump, when he says make America great again, that's actually a slogan um, from the Ronald Reagan era, which was before most of you guys on here was even born, I would imagine. Ronald Reagan said that during his run for the president back in 1980, except his was let's make America great again. That's what that means. Let's make America great again. That's where Donald Trump's getting it from. Ronald Reagan, 1980, let's make America great again. And what does he mean by let's make America great again? Stop allowing companies to shut down and open up in Mexico and open up in Spain and open up in China. You know what that causes? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people losing their jobs because the company wants to save some money or save a lot of money, shut their corporation down here in the States and open up in Mexico, or shut their company down in the States and open up in Spain or open up in China. And then thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people lose their jobs, their homes go into foreclosure, and their family is in turmoil. And I would imagine some of you out there have even no idea what I'm even talking about because you're too young and inexperienced with politics to even pay attention. Now, thank you for the people that came on, but it seems like to me you left because you got kind of irritated. Well, you know what? I don't really care. Get irritated. I'm here to educate you, not coddle you and hold your hand. If I peeve you off, well, that's just too bad. Maybe if you got yourselves a little bit more educated out there, you wouldn't get all peeved off. Okay. Bill Clinton used the same term in 1992. He was a Democrat. Let's make America great again. He said it a lot on his campaign trail in 1992. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton's husband. And he's the one that caused the whole thing. He's the first, he was the president. No, well, Jimmy Carter did it once too. And then the unemployment rate during the days of Jimmy Carter was almost as high as they were when Joe Biden was president. Actually, it became worse, I think, when Joe Biden was president. But I'm veering off a little bit. Illegal immigration. And there's several reasons. I was listening to the presidential address to Congress last week. You know, those Democrats or those people hate Trump so bad they couldn't even get up and applaud and clap for the things that he was able to do since he's been in office. I mean, people talk about women's rights, but yet when he passed the Lincoln Riley Act into law, not one Democrat got up and clapped. Not one. And let's be clear, that woman was beat to shit, okay? She was beat, raped, and murdered. What if that was you? What if that was your child? I mean, come on, people, get your head out of your ASS and pay attention. Pay attention to politics. Don't give me this garbage. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm 53 years old. Chances are I know more than you when it comes to policy. It irritates the hell out of me when I try to get on here and teach people, and then it goes from 3 or 4 people to 0 people because you don't want to listen. That's what's wrong with today. People aren't willing to just shut your damn mouth for a few minutes and listen to what somebody has to say. You want to answer, you want to get back on here and ask some questions, I'll try to answer them. You want to come out here and say, well, you know, mega is a cult. No, mega is not a cult. And whoever the hell is teaching you that needs to be slapped across the face. Trump is not the first person that has used Make America Great Again. Bill Clinton used it in 1992, and he's a Democrat. Bet you guys didn't know that, did you? Ronald Reagan used it in 1980, which is probably before most of you guys was even born. I remember. I was just a kid, but you have to remember, I'm old school. I was brought up by old school. My mom and dad lived and breathed and ate politics. That's the only thing they talked about at the dinner table was politics. So I'm trying to educate some of you silly people. And if I seem a little bit irritated, yes, I am. I get irritated because of all the stupidity out there. Like women's rights. Okay. How can you even call yourself a Democrat and not get up and clap for Trump making sure that men cannot be in women's sports? I mean, do you think it's actually right for a man to be in a boxing ring with a woman and beat the hell out of her? How's that woman's rights? You think it's okay for a woman to get bound and beaten and raped multiple times and her skull bashed in because there's a horny guy out there? Somebody want to explain to me from the Democratic Party why you're so ignorant to the fact that what Trump's trying to do is help you and help me? Do you guys even know all of Trump's accomplishments before he even ran for president? Oh, yeah, so what? He touched a woman's vagina. Big whoop-de-doo. And he had an affair on his wife with a porn star. Whoop-de-doo. Big deal. Who the hell cares? I bet there's a lot of you guys out there that would love to be banging on a porn star. But you're too wimpy to admit to it because your wives are standing is right beside you. Me, if I was in Trump's position and I was a playboy and I had the opportunity to bang a porn star, I probably would. Given the opportunity with his lifestyle he had back then, I'd tap the hell out of that. with his type of lifestyle back then. Okay, but people want to say, okay, well, he used to do this back then. He used to do that back then. Okay. Is anybody old enough to remember LaMonica Winsky? I think that was her name, LaMonica Winsky, who was given Bill Clinton, the president of the United States, in 1992, 1993, a blowjob in the Oval Office? When Trump was having an affair with a porn star, he wasn't even a president at that time. But Bill Clinton was the president back in the late 90s, early and late 90s. And he was getting oral sex from one of his secretaries in the Oval Office. And he's already president. So you guys want to throw stones at Bill Clinton as well. He ain't no angel. And you want to talk, I'll get more into tariffs a little bit. Maybe in weeks to come, but I'm still I'm still ranting. No, I'm not actually. You might think I'm ranting. I'm trying to educate you fools out there. So to some of you uneducated fools out there, I'm ranting, but the way I see it, I'm just trying to teach you guys basic knowledge, things you should already know. You should already know Trump is copying what Bill Clinton used in 1993, Make America Great Again. Bill Clinton and Trump both are copying what Ronald Reagan said in 1980 during his presidential campaign. Let's make America great again. And when that one black lady in the Democratic Senate, she said something like that one that was trying to act all ghetto, like she was from the hood, and they found they're doing some digging around and searching. Some reporters found out she never even lived in Harlem, New York, and she's trying to act all ghetto and all cool and all gangster like. People like that. She said, if Ronald Reagan was alive today, he'd be turning over his grave. If you're stupid enough to believe that, God help you. Because Ronald Reagan was all about less government in your life and more of your money kept for you. See, the way things are now, the government wants to run your life. I don't know if you're smart enough to realize this or not, but the government wants to tell you what to do. The government wants to tell you how you need to eat. Especially the liberals and the Democrats. They want to tell you what you can and you can't do with your kids, how you can and you can't discipline your kids. They want to get on to you about your belief system, especially if you believe in God. They want to just ridicule you left and right. And most of you Gen Zs and millennials are ignorant when it comes to politics. If that offends you, I don't know what to tell you. I guess get over it. Because, and there's a few reasons why that's that way. Government is in the schools. Washington, D.C., the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., is running the schools, which doesn't give your parents rights that they need, and it doesn't give you rights. That's why Donald Trump has been trying to make it to where the education system goes back to the states to give you and your parents more power and more authority on what you're being taught in school. Less government control and more control goes back to the parents and more control goes back to the students. That's the way it needs to be. That's the way it was when I was a kid. That's the way it was when I was going to school. And I'm a hell of a lot smarter than most of you people. Okay, my live's gone on for, I'm usually making my lives about 25, 30 minutes. So for the people that showed up, one, two, three, four, and I had five on here at one given time. Let's see. For the ones that showed up, thank you. If you got offended and been out of shape with me talking about undocumented illegal immigrants, don't know what to tell you. I guess the truth hurts. And secondly, instead of believing everything the social media tells you, like CNN, or what your liberal ignorant friends are telling you, I urge you guys to get yourself educated. Get off your stupid cell phones. Go to the public library once in a great while. Get books on Ronald Reagan and learn everything there is to learn about Ronald Reagan. And you will see that Donald Trump is trying to do everything that Ronald Reagan did. Not everything, but most things. He's trying to make America great like it was in the Ronald Reagan era. Now, when Ronald Reagan used that term, let's make America great again, um, Jimmy Carter was the president before Ronald Reagan. He messed everything up. He was actually, at that time, everybody thought he was the worst president ever. Me too. And then Bill Clinton gets in office. And I'm sorry, not Bill Clinton. Uh, Joe Biden got in office. And open borders. Do you honestly think our commander in chief, Joe Biden, our former commander in chief, gives a rat's rear end about your safety, your parents' safety, your neighbor's safety by opening up the borders and allowing undocumented immigrants into this nation? I don't have a problem with people from other nations coming over here, so as long as they get properly vetted. That's why you got to go through the port of entry. You don't want a rapist over here, do you? Especially if you're a woman. You want to take a chance of walking down the street and getting beaten and brutalized and beaten and tortured and raped by a Venezuelan gang member, just because some of you people might feel bad for an undocumented illegal immigrant? Come on, get your head out of your butt. Seriously. Think to yourself. Put yourself in the place of Lincoln Riley. You're minding your own business. And an undocumented illegal immigrant with a rap sheet about as long as my arm got released into this country by Joe Biden, the former commander in chief, and was arrested, but let go when he was in the sanctuary cities because, oh, well, we're sanctuary. We don't care what you did. Let him go. Commits crime after crime after crime after crime after crime. And then comes across you, a young lady, anywhere from 13 to 18. You have some guy grab you, beat the hell out of you, torture you, rape you multiple times, and then kill you because he doesn't want you to identify him. That's the kind of people you want to protect? What the hell is the matter with you people? Are you that retarded up here? Are you that messed up in the head? You hate Trump so freaking bad, you're willing to take a chance of being raped and murdered yourself because you hate Trump so damn bad? Let me tell you something about Donald Trump. Years ago, he was a Democrat, long before he ran for president. But he's seen how bad America was getting. and he wanted to put a stop to all the crap. And that's why he ran. You don't have to like him. That's the problem with a lot of you people today. Well, I don't like him because he did this. No, I don't like him because he did that. You're not supposed to vote on your dang feelings when it comes to that kind of garbage. You're supposed to vote on what his policies are, what he stands for America. Here's another one for you. You got people out there protesting, free Hamas, free Hamas, free Hamas. Do you know Hamas bombed Israel first? Do you know Hamas started killing innocent Jews over in Israel first? Hamas started that whole freaking war. They initiated the first strikes, killing innocent women and children and innocent parents. And you got all these idiots out there, Gen Z idiots, millennial idiots, baby boomer idiots. Free Hamas, free Hamas. Hamas didn't do nothing. Really? They're power hungry. And they started the war with Israel, killing civilians. So I've been veering off, been talking about a little bit of everything. I'm going to go ahead and go. It takes an hour or so for these live videos to upload. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I would encourage most of you that dislike Trump to really ask yourselves a question. Why do I dislike Trump? Do I dislike Trump because my friends dislike him? Do I dislike Trump because the media dislikes him? Do I dislike Trump because just to be disliking him? And I encourage you guys, if you do dislike Trump, get your head out of your butt. Pay attention to what he's doing. Yes, I know grocery prices has went up a little bit. That's what tariffs cause. And like I said, I will touch base on tariffs before I go. So, the purpose of a tariff. And these other countries like Mexico tariffs us constantly. Tariff is basically a tax. So if you invent something like, if you invent cups for a living and you have a cup factory and you have a coffee cup factory and you invent cups and you want to sell your product in Mexico, Mexico is going to force you to pay a tariff, which is basically they're going to tax you on items going over to Mexico or China. But avocados, let's say, for example, come from Mexico. Well, the way Joe Biden had it set up was, well, we're not going to tariff Mexico. We're going to let them, we're not going to tariff them a freaking thing. And tariff, for those of you that ain't smart enough to know what a tariff is, it's just saying another word for taxes. Okay. So Joe Biden figures, okay, well, in order to get Mexico on our side and to get better deals for Americans, we have to allow illegal immigrants to come over and flood the gates, just flood the border and come over, and not force Mexico to help us with our immigration problems, even though they're part responsible. We ain't going to do that because we don't want to upset them. We don't want them to start raise our taxes and our tariffs on our products going to Mexico. So let's say the tariffs are 25% going into Mexico. Our products are getting taxed 25% tariff going to Mexico. And Joe Biden says, well, I don't want to upset them because if I upset them about illegal immigration, they'll raise our tariff. They'll raise taxes on American products going to Mexico by 25%, making it 50%. And then we'll start losing money. And then what happens is they take advantage of us. They take advantage of America even more. Because when they send avocados from Mexico to America during the Biden administration, they weren't getting taxed on avocados at all. They were just like the illegal immigrants coming over here free. And that's not good. We're getting charged. America is getting charged. Like your company that produces cups is getting charged a 25% tax on your cups going to Mexico. But Mexico is not, but America is not charging Mexico any tariffs for their products coming over to America. Think economics. That means Mexico is making a 25% tax off your goods coming over to Mexico, but America is not making any money off of products coming to Mexico. That's why it's important to have tariffs. And reciprocative tariffs have to do with, like, let's say, for example, Mexico gets bent out of shape and says, well, Donald Trump is starting to charge us tariffs and we don't like it. So we're going to get even. We're going to charge a 25% tariff. What Donald Trump does is, okay, I'm going to charge, they charge us 25%, we're going to charge them 25%. And eventually they're going to give in and they're going to say, you know what, we can't afford to do this. Because guess what? Everything that they do in Mexico, we can do here in America. Donald Trump can, I think farmers get some sort of a grant for farming and that kind of thing. So, and I'm not sure how the farming grants work, but I would imagine Donald Trump can make a deal with some farmers here in the States and say, okay, we're not going to have our avocados come from Mexico anymore. We're going to have avocado farmers here in the States. Want to know what's going to happen when that happens? Avocado prices are going to go down. Why? Because avocados are being farmed in the U.S. So let's say an avocado is a dollar now, and then Donald Trump charges 25% tariff on Mexico, and Mexico gets bent out of shape about it, and they charge a 25% tariff back. Well, that avocado is going to go from $1 to, let's say, $1.25. So Donald Trump's going to charge an additional 25% tariff on them. That's what they call reciprocal. And the tariff war is going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until Mexico either says, you know, we're not going to tariff no more, we're going to drop our tariffs. Then the prices will go back down from, let's say, $1.50 an avocado to $1 an avocado. And then where it gets cheaper is where, let's say, for example, a farmer, an American farmer wants to start farming avocados. They get a hold of the Trump administration and the agriculture department and the Trump administration, and they say, hey, you give me a grant, you give me so much money, so on and so forth, tax exemptions and that kind of garbage, and we'll start growing avocados. Well, that avocados will eventually go down from $1 to about 50 cents each. See, that's what Trump's theory is, and he did that during his first presidency. And if I remember right, avocados before Trump's first presidency were 98 cents. And during his first term on his second year, avocados were 46 cents a piece. That's why it's important to have a tariff war temporarily so prices can start going down. Egg prices will start going down. Avocado prices will start going down. Milk will start going down. Petroleum will start going down. And I'll get into more of that later on. Um, but I'm telling you guys this because I'm trying to educate you people. I don't give a, I don't care about it. I don't care if I make any money off of this, okay? I can care less. I don't care if I make any money. The reason I'm doing these live broadcasts is so I can teach you people out there. I'm not trying to aggravate you people. I'm not trying to peeve you off. I'm trying to get you to freaking stop being stupid. I'm trying to get you guys to think, use common sense. If they're obviously not teaching economics in school, because if they were, there wouldn't be so many people mad at why Trump's doing tariffs. And they're they're obviously not teaching. See, when I was in school back in the 80s and 90s, of course, the 90s before Bill Clinton became president, but during see my era when I was growing up was the good era. You had George Bush, bleh. You had Ronald Reagan, then you had Ronald Reagan and my presidents and my years of when I was young in my teens and 20s. Um, there was Ronald Reagan, uh, George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr. That's when I was in my teens and 20s. And of course, back then, when education was being run by the state, they were teaching home economics, they were teaching mathematical economics, they were teaching policy, they were teaching government, they were teaching about the Constitution, they were teaching about the rule of law. Nowadays, you don't even get that in college. That's why it's important for you guys to quit being boneheads up here. Use your brain that God gave you. Stop falling for every single thing you hear about. Oh, Trump's a racist, or anybody that votes for Trump is a racist. If I was a racist, do you think I'd be married to a Filipino? Okay, I'm getting ready to end my live. So, God bless. Get educated. If I've offended you, it wasn't meant to, but I'm not going to say I'm sorry I offended you. If I offended you, that means uh, either. How did my dad teach me that? If you're getting offended, that means I'm saying something that's irritating you, and it's either irritating you because you don't understand, or it's irritating you because you know it's true. So, if you're out there and you're a Trump hater and you think MAGA is a cult, I want you to remember something. Make America Great Again is a speech that even Bill Clinton used in 1993. And it originally came from Ronald Reagan when he said, "Let's make America great again." That means less government in your life, less government taking your money, more of your money going to you, unless you're just one of those people that love the government to tell you what to do. Okay, take care. If I've offended you, don't know what to tell you because I'm not going to apologize for it. See you next time.